think from about the age of 20 onwards, I was doing lots of workshops here. Whenever there was a reading, I'd get called up to play like the Juve knob, basically, the idiot. I played a lot of lovable dickheads. So, and then I did a play here when I was 21 called Plasticine, which was written by Vasily Sigarev, who was a Russian writer. And we did that in a promenade performance. What's amazing about that space is how adaptable it is and how every time you see a show there or you're in a show, it changes, even though it's just a small black box. It's incredible what the set designers come up with for that space. I remember there was a scene where I'm trying to have sex with this woman, this old lady in a park. It was very dark, it's a very dark play, and I can't get it in her, so I pull out and I ejaculate on her back. Right, so it's all kind of, obviously I didn't actually do that, but it's all acted. So this is fine in front of a theatre audience, but then my nan came one night, and my cousin and my mum and dad, and they were on the top tier of the scaffolding, and they happened to stand, just by luck have it, in a position which had best view of this one section of the play. I don't think she fully understood what was going on, and she would laugh whenever there was a swear word. I could hear she had a very distinctive laugh, and then when this scene was happening, there was a deathly silence, and I remember thinking, while I'm shuffling away, and my nan's watching her grandson try and shag a woman and then masturbate on her back in the Royal Court Theatre. And then afterwards, in the bar afterwards, she was just like ashen, and she couldn't say anything. That was like, oh my God, so that was quite revealing. And then last year I did a play called The Past, which was written by John Donnelly, which was a play about a footballer who Premiership, who's famous and is or isn't gay, but chooses his career over his personal life, and the corruption and what actually that entails, and how that can, running away from your truth, how that can screw you up. What was good about The Past was we had like water balloons, and what was great is that you come on with a water balloon and you can feel the whole audience smile but get worried, especially the really posh people who've had their hair done, and you can really feel like the power of having a water balloon on stage was incredible, and just throwing that wherever I wanted, and even getting the audience members. They loved it. They hated it, but they loved it. So I quite enjoyed that section every night. For me, this place is somewhere I always love to come back to. It's an incredible space. So there are two plays that I've seen here. The first one which really affected me, but mainly for an incredible performance, was The Night Heron when I was really young. And Jessica High and Nee Stevenson played a character called Bolla, who was like an ex-female convict, didn't know what her crime was, and she comes back and she's very volatile. And I remember being so awestruck with her performance and the staging and the way she was, that it was just very inspiring to see that here. That play stuck with me. And the second one would probably be A Number by Caryl Churchill. A, because it's only about 20 minutes long, which I think broke all theatrical rules, and would have been amazing, would have been why Michael Gambon would have said yes straight away, I'm sure. But Michael Gambon and Daniel Craig in a two-hander play, where Daniel Craig's playing himself, well not himself, playing a character again and again and again, because it's about cloning. Theatrically phenomenal, to see them two doing that, phenomenal. Just something which seemed to take the piss out of the rules, which for me was something that's completely stuck with me. The experiences you get with the people you get to work with, directors and writers, and how the enthusiasm just carries through this whole building. Everybody wants it. Everybody wants to be here. This is not a stopping point. Do you know what I mean? This is something that is a highlight of everybody's career. That's why so many amazing people grow through here, but come here to work with and nurture with and be a part of. I think the Royal Court has stayed important because it feels like a working class theatre. I feel like it's completely inviting. It doesn't feel elitist. It feels like the productions, the theatre that's shown feels accessible to everybody. It doesn't feel like a bourgeois place where only the posh can go and see a show. It feels like, and I think, and that's down to the pricing. It's down to the fact that this theatre is finding real writers. Their writing program here just finding young writers is incredible for new voices. That's what's amazing about this place. It doesn't feel like it's kind of the established get to do it and that's it. It's risk taking, and it's supportive, and it's nurturing, and it's just got that rawness, which is what theatre's about, and that's, I think, why it's taken 60 years and it's still here doing its thing. And everybody, if I speak for myself, but I feel like every other actor would jump at the chance to work here and continue working here, because it feels like what it's doing is small but incredibly important, and because of that you feel very proud as an actor to say that you've done a play or you're doing a play at the Royal Court. I don't see how it can fail, because I feel like there's so many new voices that are constantly being discovered here. It doesn't feel like you're going to cap it and you're only going to put on plays by people that have done plays before. So I feel like it can only build on its own success, can't it? I mean, I first started there when Ian Rickson was running it, but what Dominic Cook seems to have done with this place is just cement its importance even more, like Nick Heiner has done with the National, and like Josie's doing with the Donmar. And I feel like he really embedded like foundations in this place. Yeah, it's just about, isn't it, about taking risks, and sometimes they fail, but it doesn't feel like, if there's a failure here, critically or whatever, it doesn't feel like it's a smudge on the class of the Royal Court. I think people feel like, okay, well that didn't work, that's all right. Good on them for taking a risk. Because it doesn't feel like, it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? It matters, but it doesn't matter. It just feels like that's what this place is about, and that's okay. If the Royal Court didn't exist, I probably wouldn't come to this part of town, ever. I don't know why I would come to Sloane Square. I'm going to say something that's like a massive compliment to someone. I probably wouldn't have met Lindsay Turner and John Tiffany and Dominic Cook. So I probably wouldn't have met these incredible directors that I hope to work with again so much. They are playing the same game that I'm playing. That's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing, because people like that exist to allow me to do what my soul is telling me to do. That is so cheesy, it is. Cheesy, it is.